Hi guys, Kirk, Dan, and Jason Giordano here with a tip of the day. What we're going to do is we're going to scratch, brown, and color coat this wall today, same day. Really got to know what you're doing when you do that. What I did is I've spread it here and I've scratched it. Now, I want this to set, and this particular material, it's called a rapid set. It will set. This, by the time we spread this bottom out, this will be ready for the next coat. And to make certain of even that, I'm opening the stucco, meaning rather than put my trowel flat and close it, I open it like this, and that allows more air in it. That way, when I come right behind with a scratch, like now, it has even that much more of an opportunity to dry. I'm not certain how many folks will understand that point, but that's what I do. And then I scratch it like so. I'm going to show you guys how we spread it out in a few minutes. When I do come back to hit this after we tear the scaffold down and come back up, it will be hard as a rock. That's what we want for the next coat. Okay, fellas, girls, now notice I'm just going to do a small section here. What I generally like to do when I do the scratch brown and a color, I don't generally do whole houses this way. In fact, I'll do little jobs. This particular finish here, the fella, all I was going to do was do a scratch and a brown and texture that brown coat. But I've seen his finish on the other side and it's not that pretty. So I called him, I said, listen, how about this? You have a finish on the other side that's less than desirable. I want to stay away from that ugly term, but I'll show it to you soon. So I said, I'll tell you what I'll do. We'll do the scratch and the brown, and then when I come over to do the texture, I'll just recolor the whole thing, choose a color I said, and we'll do the scratch and the brown, and then we'll apply that color finish. So all of this right now, as you can see it up there, it's starting to turn white. That means it's getting hard. I've got about another 15-20 minutes here. Then we're going to reset up. When we set the staging back up, this will be at a stage now where it'll accept the next coat. And that's how we continue to come down like this. So I'm going to go ahead and spread this out. When we get ready to start the brown, I'll show you that too. And again, this does, in all the things we do, this one requires the most skill because you have to know the cements, whether or not it's set enough for the next coat. So fortunately, we do know that kind of stuff. What we're doing now, guys, is because Dan's here, we have the luxury of Jay doing what he does best. He's spreading. And what I'll do is I'll come right behind him and I will derby. Like say, for example, all right, here we go, Jay, let me come show what I'm doing here. Always stand in the middle of the board if you're going to stand. Now this wall is not true and plumb, that's what I do. Jay puts it on, I come right behind him. We both actually put it on. And actually Dan holding the camera does too. And then I come here, and what I'm doing is getting my second coat true and plumb. Now this second coat actually is going to set really fast too. Within an hour and a half, this coat, time I get down, then I'm going to start hosing it off because that material requires this. Rapid set says to hose it down, especially right now we're in about 85, 90 degree heat. So when I get ready to do the color, we'll show you that too. All right guys, we're at a stage now where we have hot walls. We're in the hot sun, it's close to 90. I've already darbied all this stuff up. Now what Jay and I and Dan are going to do is we're going to jump up here with these hard rubber floats. Where it's starting to turn white here, we got to get on it. We push as hard as we can. Personally, we go down here where it's a little softer. Now we're using skill. I'll show you. We're using skill right here because this is not set up. Up here we're going to be using more muscle. So I'm going to have Dan and Jay get up here and give me a hand. But when we get ready to do the color coat, we'll show you. Okay guys, the owner asked me a good question. He says, What's that for? Well, this is a float. This compresses it, straightens it out, and makes it real tight so it embeds into the wire. This guy right here basically screeds it, makes it true and plumb, gets it straight in all the directions. This particular product, we're almost done with the base coat, and here's another tip to do. Now, we'll start from the top. We hose it down, give it everything a little shine, little sheen. We're gonna do this several times, just like that, because it's a hot day, and we want it to dry out a little slower than what it's doing. But anyhow, even if it were a cold day, we still want to hydrate this wall a little bit. Just like that, and I'm going to hit it about 3-4 more times. Next time you see us, we'll be doing a color coat. Okay guys, we're all set with the base coat. Now this was the finish we were supposed to match. We were just going to do the texture and heat paint. When I looked at it, I told the fella, gee, I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll throw in a color coat at no extra cost because this one is just incredibly ugly. So he's getting ready to do the front of the house too. So I said, let me give you a pretty finish, no cost, and see how you like it. So what we're gonna do is, we're gonna start spreading this over here. Now, I've been hosing this wall down about 5-6 times. Now we're about to do the color, so I'm gonna hose it down once more. With this particular material we're using, Rapid Set, you gotta hose it down. You gotta hose it down quite a few times, and then I'll show you how we spread out this. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna spread one area, Jay's gonna spread another, Dan's gonna spread another, and we're gonna knock this wall out in about 15 minutes. We'll get started and give you an idea how quick this goes. Then I'm gonna come back and put a texture on it. All right guys, we are done in just in the right amount of time. It's about 100 degrees. Anyhow, this is what we call Pacific sand, and where it's real dark, it's still drying. Think about putting it over Rapid Set. Rapid Set sucks the moisture out just about as fast as we could put it on. That's why we hose it down about 6-10 times. Anyhow, this is Jay, Dan, and Kirk with Kirk Giordano Plastering. Thank you folks for watching, and as usual, we'll see you guys on the next one.